What up, everybody? Welcome back to Operation Moksha. As always, I'm your host, Chris Orozco, and today we're going to be talking about something that you may not have ever even heard of before, which is the ability to use shadow integration to literally download new skills into your brain.
Now, I'm supposed to start with these operation programs first. That's Major Bar and Shed. Let's do something a little more fun. How about combat training? Jiu-jitsu. I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu. Holy shit. Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it. How about some more? Hell yes.
It's not as immediate as that, but it's essentially the same skill. The first thing that you have to understand is that this only works for things that you genuinely want. You can't do this for something you're pretending to want. You can't do this for something you think you should want. It has to be a genuine desire within you. And if you're the type of person that has difficulty connecting to those genuine desires, my vision course can help steer you in the right direction and connect to the right parts that will allow this type of thing to come forth from you. So check out the vision course if you have troubles with that. However, if you are the type of person that can know what your genuine, natural, authentic desires are, then this is gonna be awesome for you. So I've been coaching for about 9 years or so. And when I first got into it, I would listen to a lot of experts talk about marketing, talk about sales, talk about all kinds of different things. And I didn't like any of the advice that they were giving me because it all seemed really fucking dishonest. Oh, only give certain amounts of value in your content so that people have to pay for the other shit. And I was like, that's a stupid idea. I'm not gonna do that. And then when it came to sales, it was like, okay, you don't actually coach people on the sales calls. All you're supposed to do is help them figure out what they really want and how painful it is for them to not have it. And then you sell them essentially the hope that you can fix it without demonstrating it or having any idea of whether or not you can actually solve the problem. And I didn't like that. It's bullshit. It's dishonest. It's out of integrity. And so I basically had to create new frameworks to do all these things. And that's when I discovered that you could actually download skills into your brain.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
And so the way that this works is the reason it has to be an authentic desire is because what you're really doing is letting the part of you that naturally and authentically wants to do whatever the thing that you're trying to do is, you're allowing that part to come out from the shadows, to take center stage and do what it naturally wants to do. So I'll give you an example of how I learned how to do marketing and sales and all that sort of shit. So when it came to marketing, as I said before, I was given advice that I didn't like, that a lot of people still follow. So if you see other people doing this shit, just maybe ask them some follow-up questions to make sure they can actually solve your problem. But one of the things that I was told to do, like I said, was, kind of withhold. I was like, I don't like that, but I need to find another way to do it. So what I did was I thought of, okay, what is marketing? What actually is this skill I'm attempting to embody or be able to do or whatever? What I understood was that marketing was the ability to get my message out to people in such a way to where the people that genuinely needed what I have to offer and would benefit from my work could understand that and want to hire me. Now, I didn't want to do it in the dishonest ways that I had kind of been taught by a lot of the experts that talk about integrity and bullshit. I don't know how they didn't see this, but whatever. That's the whole point of growth. We have to set right all the bullshit that people before us did. So if you're wanting to download a new skill into your brain, you have to get a fundamental understanding of what the skill actually is. And for me, it was putting my work out in a way that would make the right people want to hire me. But I wanted to do it in a way that was in integrity. So I had to think, okay, like what would actually demonstrate to people that I'm a good person to hire, that I'm the person who can solve their problem? How can I demonstrate that in a way that is authentic to me? And as I kind of sat with that question for a little while and dealt with all the parts of me that thought that I couldn't do this, that were scared or insecure or thought that I needed to lean on the experts or thought that I couldn't figure it out for myself, facing all those parts, integrating all those parts, doing all that shit. And as I'm doing that, the part of me that naturally just wants to connect to my clients started to surface. And as it did, it started feeding me ideas of how I could go about doing that in a way that would actually work. And so I kind of created a new way of doing things, or at least it was new to me, which was, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put out the most value that I possibly can. I'm gonna be the guy that where even if all you ever consume is my free content, you can learn how to do and master this process just from reading my captions, just from watching my YouTube videos. And then if anybody wants help from there, I trust that they'll reach out to me. And I had nobody telling me this would work. I just knew because it aligned as the truth in me that was like, yes, this is how I want to do it. I will demonstrate to people that I can solve their problem, and the people that genuinely want this problem solved will reach out for help for more. I downloaded the ability to become a marketer by figuring out the fundamental basics of what marketing essentially was, and then letting all the parts of me that wanted to do that and wanted to get good at that tell me how I needed to do it. So I learned how to do it from the inside out. And I'll give you one more example of this, which is how I do my sales process. So again, like I said before, I was taught how to do this in a shitty way, where it's like you kind of just make people really miserable and then sell them the hope that you can solve their problem. And I was specifically told to never do coaching on my sales calls from multiple different people. And I didn't like that because I was like, why am I gonna take their money if I'm not even sure I can solve their problem and they're not sure I can solve my problem? That's just dishonest, and I don't like that. And then what I found was the point of getting on a sales conversation was for me to connect with whoever it is that's interested in my work, figure out what it is they're wanting, what's getting in the way, and seeing if my framework and my way of doing things can actually solve the problem. And so instead of doing that bullshit that I was taught, I just did that. I get on the phone with people and I say, yo, what are you wanting to create? What's getting in the way? Let's see if we can come up with a plan that'll work, even if we never talk again. And then if you think the plan is solid and you want my help, I'll help you. And that was taught to me from the inside out. Nobody taught me how to do that. I had to figure out what I wanted to accomplish, which was figure out if my framework is actually the best thing for this person, or if there's something better, find a way to get to that answer that we can both be solid on. And then if they don't need my help, then they probably shouldn't hire me. They should probably only hire me if they genuinely want and need my help. So I framed it in a way to make sure that only the people that genuinely want and genuinely need my help ever even get to the point where I pitch my services. And as a result of doing that, I have over an 80% close rate. Everybody sees what I can do, and most of the time, people say, yeah, I actually could use the help, so they hire me. There are some people that decide not to, and are like, yeah, actually, I think I can tackle this, and then they just go do it. And I'm fine with that, because I don't want to take money from people that I don't need to take money from. If you can just go do it, just go fucking do it. The main point here is that I genuinely wanted to become a marketer. I genuinely wanted to get my work out there to people. I genuinely wanted to make these sales calls, and I genuinely wanted to do all these things in a certain way that lined up with my values, that lined up with my integrity, that had me feeling proud of myself with a clear conscience, and feeling like I'm doing something good with my time and good with my life. It has to start off with something that you genuinely want, right? Like let's say you want to learn how to play guitar. And like you genuinely want it. You don't just want to play guitar because you think girls are like you or because like whatever. It's like you genuinely, there's a part of you that has something to express and it wants to express it through guitar. Like I don't have that. I play drums. I have music in me that wants to be expressed through drumming. You may have music that wants to be expressed to you through guitar. You may have whatever, something that genuinely wants to come through. All you have to do is move all the different parts of your personality out of the way so that that part can come to the surface and do what it naturally wants to do. It wants to figure out how to do the skill. It wants to organize your life around the things that are important to you. It wants to do things in a way that are in alignment with your values and your integrity. Like it wants to teach you how to be the person you want to become. And it wants to teach you how to develop all the skills that you genuinely want to develop. And all you have to do is let it. So this process really looks like getting clear on what the fuck you actually want, like truly, genuinely want, like something that wants to come through you. And then to the degree that you can, just let it take center stage and do what it needs to do. However, if this part of you that naturally wanted to do these things was already on the surface, you probably wouldn't be having this problem in the first place. So what you need to do, which I teach in my vision course as well, is as you get clear on your desires, you need to also get clear on all the parts that are making it so that that part of you is not already at the surface in control. Because the thing is, if this part of you was allowed to take center stage, you'd already be doing these things. So when you're figuring out, oh, why can't I learn how to play the guitar? Or why can't I get clients? Or why can't I, whatever the thing is, the answer is either A, you don't actually genuinely want to do the thing, or B, if you do actually genuinely want to do the thing, the part of you that can figure it out and wants to and will is probably buried. And so the question is, why is it buried? For me, it was like I was afraid of loss, I was afraid of rejection, I was afraid of all these different things, so the part of me that could figure this out was hidden and buried. So once I dealt with those insecurities, that part of me was allowed to come to the surface, say, yeah, this is what marketing is, this is what sales is, this is what all these different things are. Here's the way that you can go about doing it that you'll actually feel good about it. So go for it, see if it fucking works. And my own personal belief is that if you do something that is genuinely authentic to you, and you do it in a way that is in alignment with your values, that you feel in integrity with and all that sort of stuff, it will work because you have all of your internal resources pushing you forward. There's no part of you trying to like steer you in another direction because what you're doing doesn't line up on some level. And then you just get to it, figure out how to do the thing, and it almost kind of happens automatically as if the skill has been downloaded into your mind. I've been able to do this for a lot of different things. This is a skill I really want you to be able to develop. So if you have any questions about this, please let me know because I can go much deeper into this because you can use this for fucking anything. I did do it for drums. I did do it for marketing and sales. I've done it for a lot of different things that I genuinely wanted to do. And so I'm just gonna leave you on this, just to remember this, that the only reason you're not already doing the thing you really wanna do is because some part of your mind is stopping you. If you deal with the part of you that is stopping you, the thing that naturally wants to come forward will. It'll teach you how to do what you need to do, it'll show you how you want to do it, and it'll turn you into the version of yourself that you really want to be the most. I'm Chris Orozco. I love you. I'll see you next time.